cooking along through day 2 here at Aviation Festival in London, and APEX Media has caught up with Hari, who's the CEO of Bangalore Airport. Welcome, Hari.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Great to have you. We all know that aviation industry in India is already taking off, and in the next few years it's set to take off even more so. So, what sort of, passenger volume is Bangalore Airport experiencing right now, and how is that projected to grow over the next few years?
Great. You're absolutely right. The pace of growth in India particularly has been blistering. Is the only word I can use. In the last 3 years, we've seen traffic growing at the rate of 25% year on year, and for 3 years consecutively. I mean, that's massive. And in the middle of, India is set to be the third largest aviation market in the world by the year 2025. In the middle of all this, it's Bangalore. Bangalore is India's tech capital. It's India's Silicon Valley. It's its startup hub. So obviously there's plenty of action happening in Bangalore. And Bangalore particularly has been growing at a higher rate than the rest of the airports in India. It's the fastest growing airport in India, and it's also amongst the fastest growing airports in the world. Last year we were number 1, this year we're number 2 in terms of rate of growth. We've grown from 8.7 million passengers when we started in 2008. 10 years from then, we're now already at 30 million passengers.
30
million
Holy
passengers.
Moly.
So that's a massive growth. Obviously, this kind of a growth puts tremendous pressure on the entire ecosystem.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, so that's been the rate of growth, and this year 30 million. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the main challenges that you're facing now with these rapidly increasing passenger numbers?
Well, obviously, with this kind of growth, and that too, let me be honest enough to admit it, this is not the kind of growth that we ever foresaw. Mm-hmm. So obviously, this kind of unprecedented growth puts pressure on the like I said, the entire aviation ecosystem, which impacts in a debilitating manner our ability to serve our customers, our operating efficiencies, our ability to enhance our non-aeronautical revenues, etc., etc. So obviously we need to, and of course the capacities, the fact that we don't have the capacity to deal with this growth. And over the last few years, what we've been trying to do is put together a program to enhance our capacity and to improve our capabilities. And Maryann, what's clearly emerged as a part of our study over the last 1 year is that we can't build our way out of this problem.
No.
And the building blocks of aviation capacity in the coming years will not be bricks but bytes. Mm-hmm. Technology will be the game changer, and therefore we're investing a lot of time in the world of technology to enhance our capability to handle this kind of growth.
How are you seeking out new technologies and looking for people to partner with? Is that something that you are hunting for here? Are you doing hackathons? Have you got an accelerator program? What's your strategy there?
I can take 1, 2, and 3, all 3. Everything. To attract companies is really not a problem because, like I mentioned, Bangalore is the IT capital of India, is the innovation capital of India, is the startup hub. So we've got all companies right there in our backyard. If I just put up my hand and say I want to problem solve, we'll have 10 companies standing at the door trying to break their way in. So obviously there's plenty of companies to deal with. But obviously this has to be structured properly. So what we did was, initially we started by kickstarting many initiatives, and then we soon realized that all this needs to fit in together. So we took one step back. We partnered with Accenture. With Accenture, we set up a Accenture BIL Innovation Center, an innovation lab, where we sort of curate all these ideas and take these forward in a structured manner. The initial plan was to draw a master plan up, because we need to see how all this will fit in together before we start, picking up initiatives and executing them. And then we got to have placeholders for all these initiatives. When they come in, they must all fit in with each other. All the dots must be joined, so they all make sense once they come together. And also in this master plan, it was important to preserve flexibility for the future as well. So.
All right, and you guys are investing a lot of money right now in new infrastructure. I think you have a new runway coming.
Absolutely.
And you're going to have, I'm sure, a lot of new services, maybe entertainments and things like that at the airport for passengers to actually enjoy their time at the airport instead of just seeing it as a means to an end. So can you talk about some of the new things we can expect when this is all finished?
Certainly. So we're bang in the middle of a $2 billion expansion program, all of which should be done by mid-2021. By next year, we have a second runway coming up, which is being constructed as we speak. Then there's a Terminal 2, and a lot of associated infrastructure, flyovers, metro rail connectivity, all that happening in the next 2.5 years. So by 2021, really everything is ready, if it all goes well. And we're betting on the fact. So our entire design is sort of balanced on 4 pillars. They're built on 4 pillars. One, on digital and technology superiority. 2, we'd like to be known as the Garden Airport because we actually represent the Garden City of India.
Okay.
So it's actually a terminal in a garden. 3rd, we want to be a sustainable airport. So in terms of sustainability, we're right up there. We want to be 100% water neutral, power neutral, in fact positive.
Excellent.
And waste neutral as well.
Yes.
And of course, the 4th element being a celebration of Karnataka's or Bangalore's culture and heritage and all that. And at the end of it, what we really want to achieve as far as passenger experience is concerned, we want to make sure that the passenger experience is second to none. We really want to make sure that we can orchestrate, along with all our partners at the airport, an experience that's unique and at the same time engaging. I believe that, and this is a bit controversial when I say this, I believe that, when you look at a passenger's journey from point A to point B, he spends time in a taxi, he spends time in an airport, he spends time in an airplane. And I think in terms of orchestrating experiences, we have the best chance in an airport rather than in a metal tube 30,000 feet above the sea level. And therefore, I believe that in the entire value chain of the passenger's travel experience, we should be able to make sure that the airport experience is the most exciting part of the entire travel experience. So that's what we're betting on.
All right. Well, I can't wait to one day have a look at that, and you'll have to keep us posted on all the great PAX developments.
Certainly will. We invite you.
I would love to come to Bangalore. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.
From Aviation Festival in London, I'm Maryann Simson for APEX Media.